Welcome to What's Up, and today we are in Bedford. Well, actually every day we're in Bedford because that's where our studio is based, but we also love speaking to people all around the country. So if you've got an event, something to chat about, a local issue you want to talk about, please drop us a line, studio@wellbeingmedia.org, and we will get you in the studio. Now, joining me today is a number of wonderful guests from the local Bedford area doing fabulous things. And our first guest is Simon Cook from Hypnotic Change. Welcome to What's Up, Simon.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. Now, you run Hypnotic Change, which is all about using hypnotherapy to make changes in ourselves.
Absolutely.
And this is in the local town.
Yeah, so I'm based outside a place called Happy Body Project, which is just outside of Club Hill. But also I've done Sound Breath in a local yoga studio called Sala. In Bedford as well. So I work Bedford and Bedfordshire area, yes.
Fantastic. Now, you are doing something very special that I really want to learn about. And this is something called the Inner Elf Workshop. And this is happening on Saturday, the 16th of December.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So the Inner Elf Workshop has been something that I've had a thought about for the past couple of years. It all came about due to a Christmas jumper that I received that I bought about 5 years ago, which on the back had "Believing in your elf."
Now you have it with us. Now I know we've got a green screen background, we'll admit it. So whether we can see that or not, we'll give it a go.
Yeah. So it all came about that. And I've always thought that you have to. So you go to some workshops and they're deep and they make you cry, and you go out and you feel worse than you when you went in. And we all know that Christmas has two edges to it. It can be a really happy-go-lucky time, but also it can be a time where people are missing friends and family that have passed, or it's stressful because Great Aunt Ethel's coming, or someone's not talking to someone, and so it can be equally stressful as well. So on my journey that I've had over the past couple of years, using hypnotherapy and RTT and Sound Breath, I thought I could kind of combine the two, so we could have a half-day workshop where we find the Christmas spirit in ourselves, but also find something in ourselves, like an elf. It might not be an elf, it could be something else that helps us to get through the stresses and strains of Christmas, but also allows us to enjoy it as well.
That is fabulous. And I'm going to jump straight to asking you just about that inner elf. And why is it so important that we do allow this cheeky fun side of us to come out?
Well, it's like anything really. When we're kids, you get away and you're cheeky. When you're like between the ages of 6 and I'm going to say 11, 12, you can be cheeky and get away with it. We've all had a time where your niece or nephew or your kid or yourself has done something and you can't shout at them because they are a 6, 7-year-old and they're learning. You can tell them off, but they're learning, and we all know, give a 5-year-old, I've got a 5-year-old at home, when she does something and smiles at me, there's no chance I'm pretending because she's doing that. But as we grow up, when we get to the 12, 13 and onwards, when we become more cheeky, when we do something cheeky or naughty, when we do something cheeky, it gets classified as naughty, and then we start getting told off for doing it, and we begin to lose that inner cheekiness of us. And we can go from being the belle of the ball to being the grumpy old person in the corner. Because society is telling us you can't do that.
Yes.
Because especially with personality, some people get away with it. And I think those people who get away with it continue to have that inner elf or that inner cheekiness in, because they can pull it off and they can do it. The majority of us, we lose that cheekiness because we don't want to be seen as different. We don't want to be seen as being the naughty one as such. So the inner elf for me, especially over Christmas time, is being able to really bring out the fun of you. And the fun of what you want to do.
I absolutely love that. I love that approach, because you're absolutely right. Sometimes when we suppress that cheeky part of ourselves, we begin to feel inauthentic. Now, part of this workshop, as well as discovering that Christmas spirit again, is soma breathing. And for the viewers who maybe are unsure of what to expect, do you mind taking me through a
Yeah,
Soma
of course
breathing
I can.
exercise?
So Soma breath is what I'm an instructor in,
Yes.
and it's a very unique way of breathing. So there's lots of breath work out there. Your listeners may have heard of Will Hof, and other breathing. So this is Soma breath done by Niraj, who on Instagram is known as the Rebel Pharmacist, and he came about this technique. No, it's not new. It's not a new technique. It's been around for years, but he's designed it so that it's very injectable. So what we do to start off with, usually we have a bit of a dance and a better sing. We won't do that now. Usually we spend about 10-15 minutes in the session just having music on, and we dance and we sing and all that kind of thing. And then we go into the rhythmical breathing. Now what we're going to do with you now, we're just going to do, so the breathing comes in three sections. We have the rhythmical breathing, an out-hold breath, and an in-hold, an in-hold breath, and an out-hold breath. So out-hold breath and in-hold breath, sorry. Which will go on. So when we do this breathing today we're going to do in for 4 and out for 4, and we'll do it for a minute or so.
Okay.
Well, less than that first, but usually we do it for longer.
Yes.
And then what I would ask you to do is I ask you to take a deep breath in, and then hold that in.
Okay.
And then hold it for as long as you can, and then I'm going to tell you to then release it, and then take another deep breath in, and then hold that, and then push it up, and then release. So what we're doing, we're breathing from here. We're not breathing from the chest.
Yes.
We're breathing from the diaphragm. So we're doing diaphragmic breathing, which some people might think, oh, what's that? So I always say to my clients that when we're going up, we get taught how to read, how to write, how to walk or talk. We don't really get taught how to breathe because we do it naturally. What we do is sometimes, like adults, we are bad at doing it because we breathe from here, not here. So when we're breathing in from here and out from here.
Yes, because what we don't want is that kind of thing, isn't it?
No,
I'm concentrating really hard to do this.
Yeah. So you breathe in. So we'll just take our time. So I'm going to do the beat.
Okay.
So it's and we do it rhythmically. So you go in for 4, don't hold it out for 4. So it's like that. Yeah. So in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4, out 2. Now in through your nose. So in through your nose. 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4. So take a deep breath in. Release. And then hold. And try and hold it now for as long as you can. Right? When you need to, just take a sip. And now take a deep breath in. Really bring that in and bring it force that up into your stomach, up your spinal cord, up your mind, into your mind's eye, and then 3, 2, 1, release. Now, obviously, in a session, we do it longer than that.
Sure.
And we have music going, so the music does the beating, and we also talk about, we have intense setting as well. So during the breathing, so we do music, intense setting with meditation, the breath work like we've just done, and then we do that 4 times, and different breathing aspects of it. So the rhythmical breathing helps to bring people think that when we breathe through our noses, it's a parasympathetic nerve that we start to use. So different type of breathing. For example, over the session, what I'm going to do for the workshop, we're going to do a 4 and 8, then 2 4 and 4s, and at the end we're going to go 2 4 and then 2 2. And 2 2 is a really fast, but it really brings things to an end as well. So breathing it's not as easy as we think it is in terms of, but it's really important to know what we're doing to our bodies, and how that breath works with that. But so it's all done with music. So it's you get a lovely atmosphere. I've done, like, over the past year, I've done about 20 sessions.
Wow.
And people who come to it, a lot of them are newbies. They don't quite know what they're coming to, and by the end of it, they're like, I needed that.
Yes.
That's what I didn't understand what I was coming to, but I understand now that's what I needed. And if you've done things like yoga and meditation, this is just, you've done some sort of breath work, and this is just adding another tool to your thing. What I will say to the listeners and to the watchers is that if you're ever feeling anxious, just stop for a moment, and where we start going, just try and stop that. Try and close your eyes and just breathe in for 4 and out for 4, and do that to you, and you'll find that you calm down really quicker than if you were just going around and doing that. And then the other aspect of the workshop is the hypnosis side of things, and that's where we're going to find the inner elf. I am a rapid transitional therapist, or RTT, and part of that process we do when we're looking at an issue, we do role, function, purpose, intention. And in this case, what we're going to look at is the role of the elf, the function of the elf, the purpose of the elf, and the intention of the elf. And it may be that the elf role is that he doesn't know what he's doing anymore because it's been knocked away. It doesn't understand what you want from it. The purpose, again, they may not know, or they may have a purpose in their life that you think, well, actually, I don't want to do that. I need to give you a different purpose. Again, the intention is what is that elf's intention in your life, and role, function, purpose. And I think, was that it? Yeah, role, function, purpose, intention. Purpose and role, function, purpose, intention. So, and the purpose again is what they're going on with you. So, it's a half-day workshop. We're going to do sort of a bit of dancing in the beginning, then an hour breath work, have a bit of festive snacks in between, and then we'll do the hypnosis as well. So it runs from 1 to 5:30 at the Happy Boy Poet on the 16th of December.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, you've already now seen what the breathwork's going to be like. The music and everything, that just sounds like such a great way of making us feel good and releasing that Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
And you've seen it yourself, actually. I know I feel a lot calmer just having done that rhythmic breathing with you right now, son.
Yeah.
So if we want to join up, how do we find you?
So you can find the event on Eventbrite. If you type in Inner Elf Workshop, it's the only one on there. You can find it on there. Alternatively, if you've not got Eventbrite, you can find my socials. I've got Insta, Facebook, Twitter. There is TikTok as well, but you can contact me through those as well. So if you haven't got a chance, and you can email me at simon@hypnotic-change.co.uk.
Oh, great.
So if you haven't got access to it, let me know. I'm happy to work from now.
What are your TikTok handles?
Hypnotic Change.
Hypnotic Change.
Yeah. So if you type in Hypnotic Change, you'll find me on there. I do lives quite regularly, and bits and pieces on there as well. So it'd be great to meet some of you and come and have a go. The session is £50 for the day, but if you type in ELF10, you'll get 10% off.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And coming up next, we have got Greta Andreica, and she is a local artist, and she will be talking to me about what got her into art, and you can even come by our studio and have a look at some of the artwork that's in display in our window. It's great to be here with Greta Andreica and her daughter Alexandra, and you are our resident artist at the moment.
Ești artistul rezident în momentul de față.
Mulțumesc.
Și te welcoming here. Ești binevenit aici.
Mulțumesc. Apreciez pentru șansa care mi-ați oferit.
She's very grateful and she's thanking you for this opportunity.
Oh, well, we are delighted to have your art featured, and we wanted to know what brought you to art in the first place.
Vor să știe cum ai ajuns în domeniul artei în primul rând.
De mic copil, în domeniul artei m-a introdus, de fapt, fratele tatălui meu, care era un renumit profesor de muzică.
So since she was a child, her uncle, who was a famous teacher, music teacher, he was the one who introduced her to the art world. He noticed her talent. He was the first one who noticed her talent.
Apoi am studiat la Liceul de Arte Plastice 4 ani.
Then she studied the high school back in Romania, in Baia Mare.
And apoi m-am pregătit la București în grafică publicitară alți 3 ani.
Then she studied in Bucharest illustration for 3 years.
Wow!
Și întreaga mea viață am lucrat ca desenator artistic în cinematografia română.
And her whole life she worked in cinematographic industry, in the Romanian cinematographic industry, back in Romania.
Grafică.
Oh, fascinating.
Doing illustrations, yes.
This is fascinating. Now, we do have some of the art that's in our window at the moment on the television. So we're going to ask you to have just a look round in a moment. There we are. And I want you, if you don't mind, telling me about your main themes, what inspires those
Dacă poți să
pictures.
vorbești despre temele tale și ce te inspiră să pictezi lucrările acestea.
În ultimul timp am fost inspirată să merg spre lucrurile care se întâmplă în societatea noastră, să le exprim într-o formă frumoasă, o latură despre care nu se prea vorbește.
So lately she was inspired to paint what's happening today. So like from contemporary actions, what's happening around us. So she wants to say her point of view. She wants to bring them forward.
Yes.
This is how she sees the world.
În felul acesta, uneori lucrările mele sunt ca un strigăt disperat pentru cei care sunt la putere și care uneori iau decizii greșite.
So her works, they are like a desperate scream to the people who are in power and sometimes may take wrong decisions.
I love art with a message, and I see that because there's so many
Arta cu
crowns.
mesaj și că vede coroane.
Deoarece eu consider că fiecare om este o coroană a creațiunii divine.
She's saying she's using crowns because she feels that every person, că fiecare persoană este,
Deci o artă a creațiunii
is a
divine.
masterpiece of the divine creation.
Oh, that's beautiful. That leads me on to my next question. What do you want people to feel when they look at your
Ce-ți dorești
work?
ca oamenii să simtă când se uită la lucrările tale?
Vreau să înțeleagă viața este cel mai bun preț pe care noi îl avem pe acest pământ și să lupte pentru ea.
She wants that people to understand that our life is the most precious gift that we have and we need to fight for our life and what we have in it.
Deoarece linia dintre viață și moarte este o linie subțire, apropiată.
Because the line between death and life it's very narrow, very close.
Și dacă cei care sunt în putere au puterea, iau o decizie greșită, asta poate influența viața multor oameni.
And the people who lead us, they can't influence our life.
De aceea am și cranii pentru a înțelege oamenii diferența dintre viață și moarte.
She's saying the skull represents that the difference between life and death, and at one point we're all gonna get there.
That's a very powerful reminder.
Este un foarte puternic să-ți aduc aminte, mesaj de amintire. Da.
No, thank you. Now, Greta, do you have any tips for any young artists out there who want to express themselves but maybe aren't sure how to start?
Pentru început, fiecare tânăr trebuie să, dacă iubește arta, trebuie să studieze, să se implice cu toată voința, cu toată preocuparea ca să studieze în artă.
So, to start with, every young person who wants to do this, they need to be involved 100% in this. They need to study, they need to be preoccupied by it, they need to practice a lot.
I like that.
Doar așa, punând tot ce ai, tot ce ești tu, pentru că noi avem vibrația vieții în noi.
This is hard to translate. So she's saying only like this, if you put everything that you have, you could translate transmit the vibration of life into your paintings, into your artwork.
I like that. It's a lot of artists, whether it's painting or performance, it's all about coming from the heart.
Yes.
No, it's beautiful.
Da.
Beautiful. And I'm going to ask my last question to yourself, Alexandra, because you are an artist as well.
Yes, I am.
Now, can you tell me about how your work maybe it differs or has been inspired by your mother's work, but where your heart lies when it comes to art?
I love figurative artworks. So, and I love the new style my mom is trying. My artworks are a bit different, but they are still very strong colors and very bold and into your face. I'm focusing more on portraits and stuff like this, and nudes as well. Yes.
Fantastic. And so, where can we find both of you on social media? How do we find you?
We have the website, which is andreica.info. And there you can find my artworks and her artworks. They're all on the website. And of course, from our website, you can find us on social media. My one is Andreica Art, and her one is Art by Andreica.
Fantastic. It's been such a pleasure chatting with both of you. And please,
thank you very much.
Come by the studio and you will see the artwork on display. Now, coming up, I'm going to be speaking to Talia Giles of Pride of Place Bedford, whose initiative has been to make all the windows in Bedford into an art gallery. I'm joined now by Talia Giles from Pride of Place Bedford, and she has been responsible for this initiative where all of the shop windows in Bedfordshire, they want to change them into art galleries. Welcome to What's Up, Talia. It's great to see you.
Thank you so much, Audrey. It's lovely to see you too. Sorry I'm not with you in person, but it's really good to see you.
No, thank you for joining us live streamed in. Now, tell me a little bit more about the initiative and the project, because you started this in summer.
We did. So I myself am an artist and producer, and I founded a business called Pride of Place Bedford, which is where the word pop comes from. It's kind of it's like a placemaking project, essentially looking at reusing and reinventing what was vacant space in and around the town centre. And I've actually partnered up with Bedford Creative Arts, who are spearheading this part of the project, which you're particularly interested in, which is the pop art, which is using window space as an amazing platform for local artists and creatives to display their work for free in a really good prime town centre location.
It's so exciting. And how have you found the community has responded to all the initiatives that you've been doing?
Well, so far it's been 100% positive. I haven't had any negative feedback so far from anybody. I did actually run a pop-up shop over the summer, which was called Pop Bedford, which you very kindly came along and was the launch, and that was open for 6 weeks, and that was really opening up the doors as a sort of community hub run by artists in this sense, but actually a place where people can actually physically come into. So that kind of helped sort of push this project along in that sense. And what we found is in terms of Bedford's diversity, in terms of the amount of people that come to visit, it just really kind of brings the art to the people rather than kind of having to kind of take an individual into a gallery space or, you know, travel elsewhere. So something that you might not normally have an experience of enjoying firsthand, or quite often you might have to pay for to go and see, it's bringing it to you essentially. And the reactions have just been incredible.
I think it's absolutely beautiful what you've been doing. And whereabouts in the town can we go to get involved in all of the different initiatives that you've set up?
Well, at the moment, we're now, we're just about to be in four windows. We've got our fourth window opening hopefully next week. So as well as your site, which is on St Mary's, number 22, just south of the river from the High Street, we also have 3 spaces within 100 meters of each other. One is in the old arcade, which is the row of beautiful old shops which connects the High Street to Harper Street, and it's 5B, the arcade. There's a new exhibition that's going to be going in next week with 2 artists, a lady called Katie Arkalian and a jeweler called Ava, which I'm really excited to meet. I'm just planning that as I speak today, on 20 Harper Street, which is the old Clark's shop. A huge space. We have currently got an artist in there called Helen Jones Sew by Sew, which is a textile exhibit. And then next week we have 2 brand new artists who I think you're going to love, Audrey, called Giacomo Verdura, who is an amazing local painter. He has a studio space in the old arcade, and also Marta Plitzka, who is an illustrator, Polish illustrator, and her work is also really bright and bold, quite feminist. I'm really excited to see them together. And also the new space, just along from that, about 10 meters up the road in the church arcade, is called Unit 6. And it's next to the Portuguese cafe that's in there at the moment. And that will be opening next week as well. And I can't tell you much about that until I know more myself at the start of next week.
It's just so exciting. So now we know where to go, and even just taking a walk around the town would be a great way of getting fresh air as well as admiring the amazing community art that's going on. Now, Talia, I know you're so busy and you come up with amazing ideas. What is next for you as well? I know you're opening a lot of these studios, a lot of these galleries, but what about yourself? What is next for you?
Gosh, well, at the moment, I'm trying to sort of regroup and work on my evaluation from the project over the summer, because the real dream is, as part of this project, to find a permanent space, which is a permanent creative community hub in the town centre of Bedford. So that's really my goal over the next few months, is to finish off that evaluation, collect as much info and feedback from people as possible, start garnering more information from local community groups, from individuals, from local wards, and then putting it all together and trying to kind of bring the council back on side, work with local landlords, and to see if we can't find somewhere that can be like a real permanent thriving home for the creative and local community in Bedford town centre.
Absolutely incredible. And art is such a great way of self-expression. It's a wonderful thing that we can all get involved in, and we don't have to be creating masterpieces. We just need to be doing something that expresses ourselves. Well, thank 100%. You. Thank you so much, Talia. It's always great to chat with you.
Thank you. I'm sorry again that I can't be there in person, but it's lovely to see you, and your enthusiasm is amazing, Audrey, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to display work at your HQ, essentially, because it looks absolutely fabulous.
It really does. So please pop down to St Mary Street and have a look at Greta's art. Now, finally, today I was invited along to Inspired Villagers, and they were having one of their Christmas concerts with Aled Jones performing. It was a really beautiful event, and that's one of the ways that they are tackling loneliness. And I will leave you being inspired by the Villagers and Aled Jones.
Two million people in this country live on their own. And when you ask those people, half of them, so 1 million people, say they don't see anyone for a month at a time. Now that is huge. You just have to come next door and you can see, well, you will see what's going on. This is about people. Christmas is such an important time not to be on your own, bring everyone together. It's a family time. It's a big time for the children, so it's so lovely to have them here today as well. Well, we've got the Turvey Primary School to come along. We've got Aled Jones singing. He's done this for us many, many times before, and it's huge fun. And they're coming to enjoy the facilities, have a look around, see what we do, and just have a lovely Christmas time. I mean, the terms used for these things are integrated retirement communities. Integrated means two things. One, all the services and all the facilities and everything is here, but also integrated with the local community. So absolutely, we do this sort of thing all the time.
An icon. Wow. Who knew? Morning.
We are in Elders
well. You've been to a few of our villages.
I have.
What is later life all about for you, Alec?
Well, first things first, I think later life's all about enjoying yourself, don't you? You've put in the hard work all those years, and I think that this village is amazing. I've been to a couple last year as well, and they were really, really impressive. And you know, I get to perform a lot all over the world, and I think they've got the right idea in Australia and places like America as well, because you know, you prepare for the time when you're not going to be working. And in this country, I think sometimes we tend to think of that as kind of, oh, well, yeah, whatever. But in other countries, it's all about celebration, having fun, enjoying life.
Why is singing and music so important in life?
Because it makes you feel ace. When the minute you sing, you feel better about life. You get transported away from everyday life. Music has the capacity to take you anywhere you want to go. People ask me, why do I sing? It's pretty obvious. I sing because it makes me feel good. Do you like singing? Yeah, exactly. So if you like singing at that age, why don't you like singing at that age? It makes sense, doesn't it? So more and more choirs are starting all over the world because people realise that joining a choir and singing with your mates is actually really good fun.
And the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door.
Everyone at Inspired Villages wishes you a seriously wonderful, wonderful, happy Christmas.